Hi, I'm AK-FRU. This is a video on how I made the song Pop, which is on my album that's just come out, She Wave Numbers. I picked this track because it's one of the ones I find most interesting. I've done a lot of things that I thought would be fun to share. I was just going to stop on loops, loop it, show you whatever I want from each bit and then move on to the next section. We'll go through the whole track eventually. Alright, first bit I want to show you is here in Kickoff 4. Let's see, we're about to head into what I call the first flow. Before that happens, I'll show you some stuff. Okay, firstly, how I work. I work in loops. This is because I started out in Roland MC 909, like a beatbox. The main way I changed the music on that was switching tracks on and off, and creating variants just by pressing on-off switches, tweaking knobs, and sort of colours the way how I look at music. And I've never really gotten out of the habit of working this way. I know it's better to use all the tracks and separate everything out, so it's easy to just cut and paste and move around, but this is what I'm used to, so this is how I do it. So here's the channel rack. I'll go through drums and stuff later. The first thing I really want to show you is the laugh sample, which is instrument 8. So I'll solo it. I did this with Slice X. It's a sample of a child laughing. I'll play the whole thing. I got the audio to slice up, and I went through and deleted all the bits I didn't think was necessary to save. Like Slice X will often cut things up way more than you want, and so you just delete half of the cuts it makes and make bigger samples, and that's sort of, I guess, the process I went through here to create the instrument. So each of the laugh things goes to a different note on the keyboard, and you can play it like that if you really want. And the other thing I did that I found interesting here, or I find interesting, is the panning. So I've got the piano roll, so here's the layout of the sample. I don't know why I had these bits, but sometimes I'm just lazy and don't delete things. And see, I've got different volumes, the different fragments, and so here's what I do with the panning. So I've done this with this and the secure instrument early on. I'll do a few different instruments as the track plays, just to create sort of a bit of sonic interest in how the track plays, and people don't quite know where the sound source is going to come from next. It's a bit of variety. Quite like it. Alright, let's run the track some more. I like the sort of whistly bass that's coming up in the flow section. I don't think it's quite loud enough yet though. And see, I turn it up. Go back and look at this. Okay, so it's a two-stepping instrument. I'll solo it. It's just a Citrus preset. I might have messed with it a bit. I can't remember at this point. I made it quite a while ago. No, you get that weird sort of sound artifact at the end because it's actually a sequence. And I've just taken it out of context and used it as an instrument because it's the first note was what convinced me it was a good idea. So that's what the sample sounds like now after I messed with it a bit. But so that's how the note ends. And see, it cuts off here, and just when the next note comes back in, it goes back to just playing individual notes. At the same time it comes up as in the opening thing, it just became a cool artifact. Did I just close the channel rack? No, I did close the playlist. Is it playlist? Yeah. Playlist. Okay. Anyway, so that's that. I want to... Oh, so yeah, basically this is when I first started doing electronic music, the very first program I got was called Fast Tracker 2. It was a free program that came with like an electronic music magazine. I installed it, took a couple of days to figure out, and you could just feed in any samples and you could turn that sample into plug that sample into a keyboard and slow down or speed up depending on where it was on the scale. So if you got like a flute note, you could pan it up and down like a flute playing. If you got some found audio like sampled from the TV or speech or field recordings, you could slow down, speed up that stuff, and get some really weird artifacts. Like you slow down someone's voice, they start sounding evil, stuff like that. I had a lot of fun playing with that, and I learned a lot of tricks, and this is sort of like a minor nod to what I learnt back in those days. Alright, let's play the track some more. Oh, better turn it all on. I also doubled the kick there. I'll talk about that more a bit later. Out a bit. I'll talk about more when I get to the area up here. At that point you can't see right on the screen. We're up here. Second drop. Point with the mouse, not your finger. Alright, here we go. Got it. Alright, here's a bit where I want to talk about how I put the drums together. As I already mentioned, I used two kicks. I'll shut off the melody. Alright, now got the beat. So I add a lot of pops and clicks to this. I'll show you the hidden. I think it sort of adds to the general sort of bubbliness of the track, and sort of how it got the name Pop was how it sort of just pops and bubbles along. So I'll add the kick, and then I've got like a low end kick here, which gives a lot more sort of thickness to the drums. So I saved it for the bits where I want the track to go particularly hard, like now. Alright. The reason each of these has got a different name is that I kept changing the layout of the laughter and scattering it in different ways around the track. Each one I sort of looped and did until I was like, I like that, and then moved on to the next. Just sort of add variation as the track develops. I really like there's a loose kick in there. It's not in the recording, thankfully. I really like the deep bell sound I got in this section. It's only in place for a couple of loops. Sort of underused because I didn't really have any other use for it. I still like it. We're building up to the final climax. Third build. My labelling is very arbitrary. Sometimes it's A and B. Sometimes it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 the whole way through. Sometimes I like this, I color it by section. Alright, I'm going to talk about it when it gets to the last section, which I call go. To go 2. Go 2 through to go 6 are all the same, really, just the laughs are different. Alright. Let's talk about the synths for a minute. The first thing I'll talk about is phase plant. Phase plant is my favourite synth. So here's phase plant doing its thing here. I'll open up the actual synth. So it's pretty much just a preset. It's probably tweak the knobs to make it sound exactly how I like. But it's a very versatile synth, and each of these different sections is a plug-in. So you can just drop sine waves into the audio section or different things in the effects. Each one of these is also a separate VST that you can just use in the effects rack over here. I'll show you how it works. Give you a demonstration. Right, I'll put a transgate over this. And you can do stuff like you can take out sections. Change how it works in the mix. Make it really broken. Etc. And it's also comes with effects units. I pay a monthly subscription for this. I've never regretted it. Love it, use it in pretty much every track I write. Right, the last thing I want to talk about is my use of Secure, particularly on the album. I really found I liked putting it on the backbeat and kind of making a counterpoint to the driving 4/4 drums. Really going to the metallic, scratchy sound of the plucks in Secure. Open it up. So the track's got a lot of the plucks. The whole album's got a lot of the plucks, I should say. Is this something like a wide pluck that I've just messed with by tweaking the knobs? This got used a lot throughout my album, and so this one. Really like the metallic, bassy texture, so it sort of became the sort of signature sound of my album, just through, I don't know, my personal enjoyment of the noise. Yeah, anyway, I really like the Secure synth. Use it a lot. I'll show you just go through some of the presets. And you could always just mess with it. Alright, let's just play it out. Thanks for watching my video. I'm AK-FRU. This is various notes on how I made pop. Catch you again sometime.